Just a year ago, Heughan and Caitriona Balfe were still the golden screen couple that millions of fans loved not only for their on-screen chemistry in Outlander, but also for their close friendship in real life. The hugs, the glances, the behind-the-scenes photos full of laughter were once living proof of a friendship that seemed eternal. But then, everything changed, and that change did not come in a fit of anger. It came quietly, silently, like the way autumn withdraws its sunlight without anyone noticing. This April, fans were shocked when Sam and Caitriona stopped interacting with each other on social media. The birthday wishes, the compliments and interviews, all disappeared. No one said anything, no one spoke up. But the distance was clearer than ever. It wasn't until the press conference for the final season of Outlander that Caitriona surprisingly admitted, "Sam and I are not as close as we used to be. We still respect each other. But things have changed." A short sentence, but enough to shock the fan community. So what really happened? The crew has long been whispering about a silence between the two main actors. An anonymous source in the crew said, after Caitriona gave birth to her second child, she became more reserved. She avoided long meetings, rarely responded to messages, and didn't talk to Sam as often as before. As for Sam, he began to spend time on his own projects, a whiskey brand, charity trips, and especially a rumored new romantic relationship with model Monica Clark. There were no more playful winks between the two behind the scenes. No more lingering hugs. It was like an afterimage. In an interview with Esquire UK, Sam shared in a rare quiet voice, "Friendship is a strange thing. It grows over time, and sometimes it branches over time. Caitriona and I had almost a wonderful decade together. But life changes, and so do we." It was the first time he publicly acknowledged the distance between them. But was it just a natural drift over time? A former crew member, who worked on the first 6 seasons, revealed another detail that made fans think. Caitriona was having a hard time in her marriage. Sam was always there for her, not just as a co-star but as a confidant. There were feelings that were never expressed. And maybe, the silence was the reason it all fell apart. Neither of them confirmed or denied this. But insiders said that after a night shoot late last year, the two had a pretty big argument. The content of the conversation remains a mystery, but since then, they have hardly attended any events together. Caitriona spoke out again, this time to Harper's Bazaar magazine. "We used to be two kindred spirits. But I think I need to learn to live for my family, and stop expecting that the deepest connections will last forever." A painful sentence. Because sometimes, the truth is not betrayal, not an argument, but simply that one person is no longer in the other's story. Fans were disappointed. They blamed the schedule, the third person, the media. But Sam and Caitriona, the people involved, chose to remain silent. A painful silence. In a short clip leaked behind the scenes on the final day of filming on Outlander, Sam is seen looking at Caitriona from afar as she hugs the crew goodbye. He walks over, hesitates for a few seconds, then touches her lightly on the shoulder. She turns around. Their eyes meet. No words. No hug. Just a nod, like two people who used to be close, and are now just strangers who know each other's secrets. Unbreakable friendship is not hostility. It is when two souls who once understood each other to the core suddenly can no longer find a common language. And perhaps that is the saddest thing of all. Summer in Edinburgh is not as noisy and bustling as other big cities. But for Sam Heughan, this place has always been a peaceful place, a place where he can temporarily escape the attention of the media, the rumors of love, and the unfilled void in his heart. He was sitting in a small cafe in the old town. The espresso had long gone cold, but the leather notebook in front of him was still empty. Sam wanted to write, but no words came out, because today was the 10th anniversary of the first time he met Caitriona Balfe. A sudden text message from his former assistant made his heart stop. Caitriona is in Edinburgh filming a commercial. I don't know if you want to know, but I think you should know. Sam closed his eyes for a few seconds. Since the day they admitted they were no longer close, they had never contacted each other. No text, no email, not a single word of asking. They had chosen to let the silence linger, as if accepting that beautiful things sometimes have to go. But today, something inside him urged. A small voice, weak but true, echoed in his mind. Go. If not now, then never. That afternoon, Caitriona stood in front of a studio, preparing for her final scene. She was tired, and to be honest, her mind wasn't entirely focused. Edinburgh always brought back memories, not just of Outlander, but of the days when she believed that friendship could overcome all odds. A black car pulled up across the street, and when the door opened, her heart stopped. Sam, still tall, elegant, but his eyes, soft, and a little lost, she turned away. He stepped forward. Kate, he called softly. She paused. They stood facing each other, less than a meter apart, but it felt like a world away. I didn't think I'd see you again. I wasn't sure I should come. But today is special. Do you remember? Caitriona nodded, her eyes red. 10 years ago. That first audition room. The short gray dress and you joking that I looked like I was from 1743. They both laughed. It was a short, fragile laugh, like an old piece of memory suddenly found. Sam looked deep into her eyes. I'm sorry. Caitriona was surprised. For what? For letting the silence go on for so long. I should have tried harder to hold on to something precious, our friendship. She burst into tears. It's not your fault. I've backed away too, gone my separate ways. But Sam, I've never stopped missing you, all that we had. They walked along the water of Leith in silence. Neither of them spoke, but a warm feeling began to creep through their steps. Like two old friends meeting up after a storm, realizing that what had once bound them was still there, even if it had been dusted by time. As the sun set, Sam paused. Have you ever thought about starting over? Caitriona smiled softly. Not from the beginning, because we were great, but if it's starting now, with honesty, maturity, and nothing but kindness, then I'm ready. Sam didn't answer. He just held out his hand. She took it. A few months later, fans began to notice strange signs on social media. An old behind-the-scenes photo they both posted, minutes apart. The cryptic comments. A joint appearance at the premiere of an indie film Caitriona produced, with Sam as the guest of honor. And then, in a brief Instagram livestream, something they hadn't done in 2 years, Sam joked. Kate and I can drink tea together without arguing. That's a big step forward, right? She laughed. That laugh, genuine, natural, and gentle. Friendship isn't dead. It just needs time to hibernate. Sam and Caitriona aren't the same again, because old is an era that has ended. But they're moving on to a new chapter, without fans having to match them up, without the world knowing what they are. They're simply two people who were once very close, who lost each other, and have learned to find each other again, with their sincere hearts. One day, when they both look back on the journey they have traveled, they will probably smile and whisper, "We didn't give up, and that's enough."